Now, I'll be the first one to admit I didn't read many books growing up as a child because I was probably busy playing too many video games. But there was one small exception. I absolutely loved the Goosebumps. So when I found out there was a Goosebumps games coming to the Nintendo Switch this week, I just had to check it out. Hey guys, VanBjorn20 back again, and this is a little mini review of Goosebumps, the video game on the Nintendo Switch. Now, like I mentioned, I was a pretty big fan of the Goosebumps growing up, so I was actually pretty excited to actually try out this game. I did watch the movie. The movie was released in 2015, and that's when this game was actually originally released. It was actually released exactly one day before the movie actually came out. So this game actually acted as a prequel to the movie. Now, I remember watching the movie. The movie was really good. I know there was a TV show as well, but you know, R.L. Stine was famous for his books of the Goosebumps, and that's what I really remember growing up reading. So playing this game, I had no idea what to expect. I didn't even know this game actually came out 3 years prior, so I was actually a bit shocked to find out that this game's already out and it's already on all other platforms. And that's my biggest complaint so far with this game, is that they're charging $30 for this game when you can actually play it on all other platforms for half the price. $14.99. You can actually play this game on all other platforms, and they're charging $30 for this game. Now, with that being said, do I think $30 is worth? Can you justify spending $30 on this game? Absolutely not. I'm not saying it's a horrible game by any means, but it's definitely, there's just not $30 worth here. Even if you're a huge Goosebumps fan like myself, there's just not enough here. If you don't like Goosebumps, you're probably gonna just want to stay away from this game, because this game is basically a point and click adventure. Had no idea. I was hoping there was a bit more to the adventure, but it's just literally point and click. Now, they stress that you should use headphones when playing this game because you'll have a better experience hearing the creepy sound effects and the music and stuff like that. You know, they try to say that there might be some shock scares, and honestly, the shock scares, they're just not there. It's just more cheesy at best. I don't really feel like the shock scares, they weren't there. The music added to it a little bit. Maybe if you're using headphones, it'd be a little bit better, but I just honestly didn't enjoy the game very much at all. It was very boring. I'll be the first one to admit, though, I'm not a huge fan of point and click style games. They're really kind of boring and stale to me, and I didn't really know that's what this was going in, because in the description of the game, they just kind of advertise this as like a puzzle adventure game. They don't really specify it's point and click, and it's definitely point and click. The story basically starts off where you're moving to another town. The moving van drops off, and you actually see Slappy, which is this evil dummy that actually is wreaking havoc upon the town, releasing a bunch of monsters from the famous R.L. Stine books, Goosebumps. So you'll actually have some nostalgia factor here. You'll come across some monsters that you'll recognize from the books, which is kind of neat, I guess. And that's pretty much where the fun stops for me. Like, the nostalgia was there, and that was cool. But like I said, if you didn't really get into the Goosebumps, there ain't much here for you. I mean, there is some puzzle solving, and the puzzles, my God, the puzzles are like so crazy to me because you can pick up everything. It's one of those games where you can literally pick up every item you see basically and like just put it in your inventory, and you may need it later for like a side quest, or a little something on the side, or it's something really important that you need, and sometimes those are kind of hidden and not really in plain sight. So it's a little bit frustrating. I know this game is aimed towards the younger crowd, so I find it a little odd that some of these puzzles, they weren't really straightforward, and you really do have to think about it, which is actually a good thing. It gives it a little bit of a challenge, but I can just imagine a younger person playing this game and just getting frustrated and just kind of like, okay, well, I'm kind of at a dead end here, so I'm going to just go ahead and stop. Because this game doesn't really hold your hand, which is what I like about it. You do have to think, which is good. So, it is definitely a puzzle game, but there's a ton of items. I think there's too many. So like I said, some of the items you don't even really need. Some of the items are very important. It's just, I don't know. You will come across, like I said, these monsters, and you have to find way past them. Sometimes you have to figure out what you need to do, and you will die in the game. You'll actually get a game over screen if you don't figure it out correctly. Now, my only problem with this is when you get the game over screen, you just kind of get set back literally a couple seconds. Like, you go back to the next screen and like, boom, you're right there where that monster was. Some people may like this because it lets the game keep moving, but I feel like you should kind of get punished in some way, shape, or form if you actually come across something and you can't figure it out. I feel like there's really no punishment here. You just get set back you know, like one frame literally, and then you can try it again. One case I'll show you, like there you come across this monster that, you know, famous in one of you know, the Goosebumps books, and he's this plant monster, and you actually have a bottle of weed killer, and you actually need to spray it on him to actually, you know, make him cower in fear, and then you can actually walk past him. That's one of the puzzles you got to do. It's simple stuff like that, and then sometimes they're more complex. You end up at your house that is like transformed into like this haunted mansion, and there's a lot of puzzle solving there as well. And the game just kind of drags on to like, it's like a 4 to 6 hour game, so it's not very long at all. Okay, so if you're paying $30, you get a 4 to 6 hour gameplay out of it, depending on how fast you can actually figure out these puzzles. I thought the game could have been a lot better. I mean, like I said, this is an older game. It's like 3 years ago, and it's a kind of like a re-release on the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, the visuals are a little bit better, I think. I think this was actually on the 3DS as well. It's literally everywhere right now for $14.99. I mean, we're talking 15 bucks, guys, but they're charging $30 on the Nintendo Switch. I just don't know. I just don't see $30 value here. Leave a comment below. Let me know, are you a fan of the Goosebumps? And let me know, do you plan on picking it up? That's pretty much all for right now, guys, and there'll be more to come shortly. Thanks again.
You're in for a scare.